There are many versions of what happened in the Bekaa Valley on April the 5th, depending on who you listen to. The media speculated. Conflict experts gave hypothetical views on what happened and why. The media said those that arrived first on site were men from the nearby villages, alerted by the gunfire and the explosions, and they found only slain bodies, no survivors. Nobody could guess how this massacre was organised and by whom, and more importantly, why. On top of that, not too far from the area where all the bodies were recovered, rescuers found a huge crater in the ground, full of what at first sight looked like scraps of metal, only to be identified later as the remnants of the weapons used in the shootout. So far, so good, but not far enough. This is what truly happened that day. I know because I was there. Me and the other 5,000 ones. The three singled us out from millions in the area they covered. It took them no more than one single glance through our souls to see our actions, the blood on our hands. A single glance that meant our death sentence. The first bunch that got here were sailors and marines from the USS Maryland, stationed several miles outside the port of Basra. They were followed shortly by scores of terrorists fighting US and Allied forces in the Middle East, also taken directly from their base, some 30 kilometers north of Baghdad. That bunch included me as well. More of my comrades joined us from the Lebanon. Next came Israeli soldiers, Syrians, Italians, Polish and English, and more foreign troops from the multinational force based in Iraq. A grand total of 5,000 men and women faced each other for the last time in the middle of nowhere. Leaders and generals, soldiers, dangerous criminals picked up on the streets or from safe houses. All were gathered in the same place, face to face and with a weapon in hand. As soon as everyone arrived in the field, the leader of the three took over our minds, turning us against each other with a blind fury, urging us to kill or be killed. One after the other we fell on the blood-soaked ground, some already dead, others still screamed from pain, but not for much longer. The three silently executed the wounded two, showing no emotion, no mercy. Shortly after the guns fell silent, I opened my eyes. I hadn't a clue what happened. How could I still be alive? I remembered being wounded in the chest, falling face down, so how could I move my body? I was trying to figure it out. And more, when I spotted the three silently passing in front of me. And that somehow rekindled my anger. Why didn't they talk? Why didn't they even insult me? Why? One of them must have felt my anger. He must have, as he suddenly stopped, turned around and stared at me. He fucking stared right at me, again and again, without uttering a single word, and moved on. And how I hated that. How I hated him for that, and still do. So now I'm dead. Sure I am. Why couldn't I simply die and be done with it, moving to whatever comes next? Maybe the three sentenced me to all this the very moment I set a foot in this arena, cursing me to an afterlife with nowhere else to go but aimlessly wandering around the place where I've killed and I've been killed. Wishing I wasn't the one involved with that car bomb in Baghdad. Wishing I took a job, any job that would save me from this. Not that I'll ever find out what the truth is, whatever it is. That's for sure. After what felt like an eternity, the three simply vanished into nothing. Gone wherever they choose. They had plenty more to kill, I guess. Shortly after, more of the dead rose to join me and the others. With no light at the end of the tunnel, past hate between us has since lost any meaning. We're all comrades now. Now I can see the shadows of the many I've killed with that bomb, endlessly staring at me with their accusing eyes, but remaining silent, never leaving me alone for even a second. I didn't know that dying would have been like this. I never really considered it. But now I know. Hell is here. In the darkness.